Hi guys, I'm Doggone. Well, part two of the lives of the former Parrot heads. Let's take a quick diversion here. As I was researching Key West trades, Key West Chattanooga trades over the past few seasons, in order to track down all these Parrot heads, I started with one slip of note paper, went on the back of it, got another one back, got another one back, got another one back, got another one. The two trades that I just mentioned, the Dudley Thomas trade and the Mark Hicks trade, those opened the floodgates for me. I was very hesitant. When I first came into the league, I didn't know player valuations, and so I was very reluctant to do any trades until I had a sense for what players were worth. I was approached a few times for some trades, and I took a pass on those because I simply didn't know, and I didn't want to be pickpocketed of my best talent until I had a good sense for what it was worth. And anyway, as you've seen, I'm not the swiftest wheeler and dealer out there, but I've made my share of good trades, and I've certainly made my share of bad trades. As I was researching these and trying to put them in some kind of sequence, I opened up the 2015 almanac with all of the, as you can see, dated November 30th, 2015, with all of the off-season 2014 and all the year 2015 trades up to December the 1st. So I thought I'd take a quick detour, and our trades and transactions number 2 video will kind of just walk you through the 2015 almanac. And let's just start from the bottom of the list. We're at September the 28th, 2015. The off-season has just begun. The 2015 playoffs have concluded. And here we go. The Chaos release. Alin Toropoc. I can't link on him because, or maybe I can. No, I can't because, or can I? Yes, I can. That's in the almanac. That's amazing. Toropoc, actually, he was a guy I inherited. I really liked him. He actually had some good years with us, but his ratings took a dive. He's a great defensive center fielder, and he actually hit like a boss for us. Career batting, that ain't right. UBL. Oh well, that ain't right. But he AAA bat. He did actually very well for us. I don't know why the batting doesn't. Oh well, let's go back. Sorry. Alin Toropoc I did a lot of soul searching before I released him, but I had signed him actually to like a $1 million contract, and I needed to get rid of him. Ricardo Ramirez, catcher, bust. Carlos Flores, Dan Webb. Dan Webb's actually a pitcher too. Paco Moreno, all released. I executed the final option year of. Whoops. Why didn't? Okay, I guess when I followed the link, it lost my highlights. I executed the last year of Roy Green. He journeyman pitcher. He had his moments with us. Didn't really work out. Jaime Garcia, I couldn't wait till he was off our roster. He retired. Sent him down. He retired. I made a lot of mistakes in my first couple of years in the UBL because I did not understand the game very well, did not understand the players very well, and I think that's just normal. It's something you got to live with. You're going to make mistakes, and I know we all have, but I look back and I just kicked myself over some of the things I did. I cut players I shouldn't have, and so forth. And I'm still making a lot of mistakes. We picked up Daniel Rat Sanchez to a minor league contract, and Sanchez was in our system until earlier this year. So he never really cracked the majors, but he was always there. Zach Meisner, 1-year contract through arbitration. He's now an ex-Parrot head. We should go take a look at Zach Meisner, shouldn't we? Let's go grab him. I think he's still kicking around. He is with Winnipeg. Here you go. Zach Meisner. He hit 172, 255 as a backup catcher for us in 99 at-bats. Yep, that really doesn't get it done, does it? He hated being on Little Rock, and we finally released him. Look at that. He's not a happy guy. Never was. Never was. Jose Rodriguez, let him go. Frank Walls was still in our org at the time. He was a heck of a good reliever for us for years. A one-pitch reliever, by the way. Fernando, he's now with, I think he's with either Tijuana or Vancouver. I can't remember who. Fernando Moran. Look at that. Through arbitration of $6.8 million. It was ridiculous. Good night. I'm so glad I could finally release him. He really screwed my salary up, and yeah, he was sort of a, anyway, he was a bit of a butt plug. He screwed up. He constipated the whole salary structure until we could finally release him. And when I did, and I released him early, it caused us a big hit, but I was finally able to renegotiate salaries. Havoc Gonzalez still with the club. Piper still with the club. Ouch, man, that hurts. Closer, arbitration, $3.2 million. BJ King, not offered arbitration, becomes a free agent. I think I could have used him better, but I didn't know how to at the time. King was a great defensive infielder, middle infielder. Daniel Sanchez, free agent. We did re-sign him. Dave Hickman. Hickman was our starting shortstop for a while, and sent him down. Brandon Creevy, journeyman pitcher. Mark Combs is basically our frontline catcher now. Luis Roman, we talked about. Derek Warren was a co-first-round draft pick along with Francisco Guerrero, Frank Guerrero. I say first round. Let's double check. Yeah, 11th pick in round 1 in 2013. The AI picked him because I was just coming on board. Talk about a bust. Well, you can see in 2014 he did 257, 296. That wasn't bad. Actually, I guess that's 2015. Not terrible, but he just completely busted. He really informed me that the AI highly values speed, and yet OOTP, the speed is, I want to say it was kind of nerfed in OOTP. You really, it doesn't really buy you. I don't think it buys you that much in OOTP, and yet the AI evaluates it very highly. So anyway, he is an ex Parrot head, and now in fact is, oops, I got to stop doing this because it's going to screw up my place. I don't want to do this every time. Yeah, he was a first round bust all the way. Riley Hicks. Jimmy Haley was a great Yeoman pitcher for us, but I could not afford his request contract. Kevin Adams still on Kevin Adams eventually busted. Armstrong, Johnson. Machado has been sent down once we got Rick Roll Hamilton, who does what Machado does but does it better. Guerrero. Walt Leand was a waiver pick, and he actually played some 4th and 5th outfielder for us and then was released. Lopez was our inherited second baseman, and again, another guy I kind of misused. I could have used him better had I known what I was doing. I sent him down. He wasn't happy about it, and rightfully so. Drafted first year, round 15. Don't even know who this guy is, but released. Verdugo released. Leach released. Benny Prince released. Juan Nunez released. Carol Pittman released. Connor Roberts released. Scott Robinson, I think he's been released. Jeremy Blaze has been fine. 6th rounder. It's kind of a project. He's done well in the minors. He never has had the ratings to make it to the majors, but I think he's now in AAA. Andrew Graham, 5th rounder, another project. He's up in AAA, just waiting for his chance to come up to the bigs. I think he could pitch well in the bigs, and I've had some inquiries about him. John Cummins. this is the trade we're about to come up to. I have fleeced and been fleeced, and actually these days I don't want to fleece anybody, nor do I want to be fleeced. I like to keep my trades as fair as possible. I like to come out a little bit ahead, of course, or at least I like to come out roster-wise ahead. We're all in this for the long haul, and when somebody gets fleeced, it's like a kick in the gonads. So I like to do fair in my trades. It did not end up being a fair trade, but it could have been. So we'll come back to this. John Cummins. Richard Woods, third round, one of my favorite third rounders of all time. He is in AAA right now and is due to break onto our staff soon. Manny Ramos, actually a round 2, picked ahead of Richard Woods, and he's now with Raleigh. We'll take a look at him in a little bit. And Gonzo picked in with the 1-2 pick, partly because he asked for slot, and slot was actually $2 million. But I let a lot of guys go. Molesta was drafted first. Look at all these great guys who were drafted after I picked Gonzo: Bowden, Anderson, McDonald, Edwards, Waco, Monk, Waco, Brian Williamson, another closer, Bill Scott, John Casey, Javi Lopez, all these players. Craig Martin, center fielder now for Louisville, Hubert Kraft, Julian Maldonado. This is the guy I really wanted, but he had the fragile tag. Florante Monangaya. I passed all these guys up for Gonzo, and there are times I definitely kick myself for doing it. I definitely undervalued starting pitching. Monk, Edwards, Waco, Collins. At the same time, I wanted a closer right now. I thought, sometimes you can do well by steering away from the herd mentality. The herd mentality was the accepted wisdom was closers and relievers were in high supply, and I kind of went against that and picked a closer early, and he's helped us out. Gonzo. Another reason I picked him early was because he was pretty much ready. He didn't need a lot of development time. He was very close to being UBL ready. So I would not waste a lot of time with him in the minors. And anyway, that's also a two-edged sword, though. As soon as he gets up in the majors, you start paying him big bucks, right? So kind of shortish, medium-ish term thinking by me. All right, released Willie Powell. Don't even remember who that is. Signing bonus $2 million for Manny Ramos, 1.2 for Dick Woods, 2.1 for Gonzalez, our 1-2 pick. That's cheap for a 1-2 pick, right? Well, we were under a strict budget, and that's another reason I went with Gonzalez, because some of those guys were too expensive for me, just flat out too expensive, and I'm looking for a few. Let's see. We signed Graham, our 5th rounder, to $220,000. Dan McDonald was $5 million. I couldn't afford that. Bowden was $6 million. I couldn't afford it. So, the one reason I signed Gonzo was because he was Waco 4.4. I couldn't afford that. That's definitely one reason I signed Gonzo, was because he was asking for slot, and I knew I couldn't afford some of these expensive guys. So let's see what else. 2015. Yep. Draft picks. Cummins also, he signed late, $360,000. 4th rounder. Guillermo Hernandez. DFA'd Hernandez. Hernandez was struggling with control, and he'd been a good reliever for us. And I think I'd picked him up in free agency and signed him to a $2 million contract. But Porter Gauthier, he only stuck with us for a while. Somebody was asking me about him. He stuck with us for a while, then we released him. Released these guys. Manuel Vertigo, Carol Pittman, Daijia Wang. Signed Jim Marcotte and Mike Smith. Mike Smith, he caught my eye in free agency to a 2-year contract at a $1 million each. He had a very high avoid K, like a 75 or 80 avoid K, and I thought I could use him. And he's actually still in our system. We put Guillermo Hernandez on waivers, and Springfield claimed him. Thank you. I always appreciate it when guys claim my guys off waivers because it frees them up off my 40-man roster and my contract, my salary. Let's see. Yeah, Mike Smith went right on our roster. So that's the 2015 transaction log for Chattanooga. I don't see any. I did not see any. Let's click on that. I didn't see any trades in 2015. Oh, that's because the year of 2015 was over at this point. All right, well, I will close this video and bring up. I'll go back into the trades and try to pick back up chronologically with the trades that I've been able to backtrack. And remember, if you want this Almanac 2015, it is in the OU posted a link to the Dropbox. He's got it up on Dropbox. So, yeah. It's also, if you go back through our league files and look for Almanac, you should be able to find it pretty quick. All right, guys. Well, I'll stop this one here at 16 minutes, and I'll talk to you guys pretty soon in the next one.